Hello, I'm Laura Templeton with 30 Second Success. Thank you so much for being here. I am excited to share this new presentation with you, and I want to give a huge shout out to my friend and graphic designer, Hannah Broter of the Broter School of Design, who created this slide deck for me, and I hope you will enjoy it. It's been a pleasure to work with her, and I just wanted to give her that shout out. So let's dive into communicating your brilliance with clarity to attract more of your ideal clients. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So, as we jump into this, I just want you to keep in mind that we're focusing on your bringing your brand message to life so that people understand what it is that you do. They get it. They really want to know more, and they want to connect with you on a deeper level so that they have a better understanding of what it is that you do and how you might be able to help them. We're going to start by just kind of diving in here with the ideal clients that I work with all the time are the folks that get stuck in that creative mode. They're coaches, consultants, and service providers who are launching something new and brilliant and exciting. They feel like they've outgrown their brand and they're just looking to shake things up, right? They really want to be able to describe what it is that they're now doing with more authenticity, with passion, and really bringing that value message to the people that they're connecting with on a daily basis to help them understand what it is that they're doing, what they're creating, and how they're serving their audience. So communicating your brilliance all starts with your heart, right? You want to communicate your brilliance. And in order to do that, you need to communicate with your heart. And what I mean by that is being able to bring your heart to the center of your message, really speaking from that emotional level. When you're speaking with your ideal clients and audiences around the world, whether you're networking virtually or in person, doesn't really matter, but that message, that inherent message, and how you make people feel matters, right? And in order to do that, you need to bring your heart. You need to bring your vulnerability, your authenticity. You need to bring who you are to your message, because that's the way we connect in this world, right? That's how we connect with people. It's how we make them feel. And how we make them feel matters most, right? Whether it's in verbal communication or visual communication, it doesn't really matter. It's still about feeling and emotion. One of the things that I really would love to just share with you right now and help it to make an impact in your world is that you are brilliant. Your clients need you. What you have to offer makes such a difference to the people that you're meant to work with. So I want you to take a moment to really soak that in. The people that you are meant to work with. Yes. In a lot of the work that I do, I talk about your ideal client and attracting those people to you. When you have a greater understanding of who your ideal client is, you know who you're meant to work with. We're going to touch on that in this presentation. First, I want to start with a framework to communicate your brilliance and your brand. So in the framework, and it's really focused on your brand message. And what your brand message is, it's the way that you communicate your brand, your unique value proposition, and your personality through your verbal and nonverbal communications. It's really about bringing who you are to your audience, giving them a glimpse of who you are and how you help the people you're meant to work with, really bringing that value add to all your messaging. When your brand message is cohesive and it really brings that value message to your audience with the personality, it changes everything, right? Everything really revolves around your brand message, everything that you're putting out there, whether it's your networking, the conversations you're having, your bio, your graphics, your website, your content, your social media, whatever you're putting out there really comes back to what your brand message is. It determines everything. If your brand message is broken, so is your content. It really gets cloudy and people have a hard time understanding what it is that you do when it's not cohesive. So a cohesive brand message brings everything else into clarity, right? Everything that you're putting out there, all the things that you're sharing really matter. And in order to build that brand message, you need to be able to communicate it well. A lot of our visual and verbal brand communicators are asking the same questions. I have conversations with these folks day in and day out, website designers, graphic designers, your social media experts, your content writers. We're all asking the same question. And the reason for that is your brand message is kind of like marketing 101. And I know many of you have been with me and understand that I teach a formula for your 30-second message, but your brand message goes a little bit deeper. It's that message, that pivotal message that everything that you create, including your 30-second message, really spins off of, right? It really is that it's that pivotal piece to everything that you're putting out there. And it becomes a very measurable piece that you can align everything with. So the two things that your brand communicators are going to be asking you when you are working with them are very important to creating that brand message and helping you communicate. So the first thing is, who is your ideal client? So do you have a clear picture? Do you know who they are? Where are they spending their time? How do you find them? I talk with clients all the time and say, look, describe your favorite client, the person that lights you up, that you're super excited to work with, the person that if you had 100 people with the same personality, what would that be like? How would that feel to you? How do they make you feel? And more importantly, how do you make them feel? What are the results that you deliver for them? How are you engaging with that ideal client? And that will help you focus more of your attention on connecting with those ideal clients. Your ideal client, and like I said, you're meant to work with a specific person, right? Not everybody's going to be your ideal client. I had a client recently who came to me and he told me that his ideal client was John Doe. So to me, John Doe technically is a nobody, right? Which is very sad to say. I mean, in his mind, John Doe is everybody, but I helped him to understand that you're not meant to work with everybody. Not everybody's meant to work with you. Yes, everybody needs what you have to offer, but you need to tailor your message to a specific client that is going to engage with your content and then go out and tell everybody else about you. And then you'll have a choice as to whether or not you want to work with everybody else, right? But start somewhere, really define someone. And after looking at his program and the product that he was offering, I did find that there was a very specific client that would be more attracted to what he was offering than most other folks. So we worked on that together. And I think I kind of got him convinced to at least give it a try in his brand messaging. So, and that's one of the pieces that we have to understand is we need to at least give it a try, get it out there, really start to identify and hone it in. Because when you try, you'll find, like I did, that sometimes your ideal client either changes or maybe a little bit more specific than you realized. I used to talk about my ideal client being entrepreneurs, business owners, and sales professionals, right? But after looking at my list of clients and all the people that I had worked with, I came to discover that my ideal client is even more specific. Yes, they fall into the business owner category, professional category, and entrepreneur category, but more specifically, they're coaches, consultants, and service providers. When I changed my messaging and started focusing on those folks, I started attracting more people to have conversations with me in a way that was way more organic and authentic. So just a clue, just a consideration there. Take a look at who you've been working with thus far. Who are you attracting already? And then start tailoring your message to them so that you attract more of them. The second question that your brand communicator is going to be asking is, what is your brand message? Is it well defined? Your brand message is key, right? Understanding who your ideal client is super important to creating that brand message, right? So they're kind of working hand in hand here. So once you understand who your ideal client is, your brand message needs to become very crystal clear in focusing on how you take care of those people. So the framework that we're going to be talking about here in this presentation is this. Your brand message is made up of these 4 areas: identifying your ideal client, the pain or problem that you solve for your ideal client, the results that you deliver for your ideal client, and the emotional drivers that attract your ideal client to you, right? It's connecting with emotion. And that's a key element to this visual graphic here, right? To this framework that we've created for your brand message. So you defining your brand message really needs to communicate your vision and your value. Remember, we talked about the value proposition before. So the vision is really, it's describing the basic human emotion, right? The emotion that a founder intends to be experienced by the people the organization interacts with, right? The people that you serve, your ideal clients. It's about the basic emotion that you want people to feel when they work with you. That's where the connecting with emotion comes in. How do you want people to feel when they've experienced working with you? That's the driver here. And that's the biggest piece for your vision and what you are bringing to your ideal clients. And then the value proposition. A value proposition refers to the value a company promises. It's the promise that you're making, the promise of what you're going to deliver for your customers and your clients, and how that's going to make them feel, right? It's the people that choose to work with you and buy your services or product. What promise are you delivering for them? That's your value proposition. And again, it really ties into this framework over here with the results you deliver, right? So value and vision and value tied together beautifully. And when you tie those two together with your identifying your ideal client, the pain or problem that you solve for them, it becomes a very natural message that is very cohesive in communicating your brand. And your brand message, again, it's that pivotal piece with which all of your content, your messaging, everything that you're putting out there is measured by. When you know your brand message, it's in alignment with your vision and value. Use it to bring it into alignment with your work. So when you know that they are all cohesive, it just makes life a lot easier when you're in that creative mode. Vision plus value equals volume. And what do I mean by that? I mean visibility, right? The volume of people that you're attracting, the visibility of you being out there, right? You get louder with your message when your message feels right. When that brand message is part of who you are and part of what you're putting out there, you get louder about it. It's easier for you to talk about your business. Communications, conversations become easier because you know what you're delivering for your clients. You know who you're delivering it for. Those conversations get to be so exciting and so authentic and natural and organic. I love when I'm sitting with someone and I'm having a great conversation, and it feels very organic because it's the conversation about their work, the work that I do, who I help, how I'm serving people. 9 times out of 10, they'll ask me what it's like to work with me and to describe the work that I do. And it's amazing because it's just such an organic conversation. It doesn't even feel like a sales conversation because to me, it's not. It's just a conversation. And if somebody chooses to want to work with me and asks me for information about how to work together, I'm honored. It's such a beautiful way to have that conversation and not feel salesy. And a lot of people really struggle with that. So your brand message, when it's woven into your personality and it connects with who you are and the emotions that you deliver, that emotional driver is so beautifully delivered. It becomes way more natural, feels so much better, and people hear you. People feel it. They feel that it's part of who you are. Visual and verbal communication of your brand message increases your volume, your visibility, and your impact. And it attracts more clients. When all of these pieces come together and it's cohesive, clients find you, right? They hear about you. They hear about you from other people. They hear about you, because you're posting really great content on social media, or you're putting out great podcast interviews, or you're sharing insights and newsletters that other people are forwarding to them. It's amazing when you're in tune with your message and your visual and your verbal content is really connected in that way that sends a message no matter who you are and where you are. It's just a beautiful opportunity to attract more clients to you. So your visual and your verbal brand communications help you stand out and increase your client attraction. And you do that by being authentic, by being brilliantly you, and by being you and being where your clients are. Those are the pieces that matter the most. It's the authentic and you and who you are. It's really that connection to your personality, right? But putting it out there. When you take that bold step to put yourself out there, yes, you become very vulnerable, but in essence, it actually helps you to bloom and blossom and grow in a way that just enhances everything that you're doing, enhances your communication, enhances your experience with your clients, and helps you to attract the clients that you want to work with. So again, your brand message determines everything. Your brand message is going to make such an impact. It starts with that verbal brand message and just goes out from there. So if you're in that mode of figuring out what it is that you do and who you work with, and you want to do a little bit of strategy work together, I'm happy to help you with that. That's one of the things that I do love to do is strategy work. And I have sessions available through my website. If you want to check that out, 30secondsuccess.com. I'd be happy to help you figure out what your brand message really needs to be saying to your ideal clients and your audience. Thank you so much for being here with me. I really appreciate you. And I want you to remember you are brilliant. You are meant to shine. The world needs to hear from you because there are people out there that need your help. Don't keep it to yourself. I encourage you to put your message out there. Be bold, be brave, and be on brand. So I'm Laura Templeton with 30 Second Success. Thank you so much for being here with me. I appreciate you spending time with me and engaging in this presentation. You have a great day.